All right, guys, episode 7 underway. We're going to talk about the news in the league, standout players, and guess what? Melo's back, and we're going to talk about two teams that we think are going to shock the league.
Hoodie Melo's back, baby.
All right, guys, we're back. 7th episode. Let's get into the news, man. You ready?
Let's get it.
So, first point of the news happened a couple minutes ago. Ben Simmons made his first NBA three-pointer.
They grow up so fast.
And I saw on Twitter, I don't remember the actual number, but it was something around the last time that Ben Simmons made a three-pointer in an actual game was 1,500 days ago, around there, or 1,400 days ago. He was in LSU, man.
I have no words. I mean, he should just retire. That's it.
He's a three-point legend now. Stephen Curry. It's a good thing Stephen Curry's out of the league because he's going to lead the league in three-point percentage. I don't know if this was his first one.
They're winning the title this year. That's it. It's over.
That's it. It's over.
Yeah, that's
he
it.
got a shot. But hopefully he keeps it up. And it's funny because I actually saw a news headline either this morning or yesterday that said the only way that the 76ers can make it over the hump or they can really go far in the league is if Ben Simmons gets a shot. And he knows it, the team knows it, the coach knows it, and he made his first NBA three-pointer, so let's see how that plays out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, in big news, big news, the Portland Trailblazers. Well, first, I'm going to start off with, because the Trailblazers we had two pieces of news for them. Start off with the lesser news. So, unfortunately, the Portland Trailblazers waived Pau Gasol today. He's going to be focusing on his foot injury and rehab, so he's going to be really focusing on the left foot injury. But there are apparently rumors that they're working out a deal for him to stay on as a coaching role, which I think would be great for Pau Gasol. He has so much veteran experience, and he's an NBA champion, so I think that's going to be a really good asset to the organization.
No, yeah, I feel like these past couple of years, we haven't really heard much of him, considering that he's getting older and things like that. But I feel like he's always been a good bench leader,
Yeah.
kind of like Udonis Haslem, in a sense. So he's like one of those guys. So if they could keep him in that aspect, I think that could be really interesting.
For sure, and like you said, he's going to be a really good role for the team, and he has somebody new to coach.
I know.
The Portland Trailblazers signed Carmelo Anthony. He's back in the league, guys.
It's about damn time.
After what, like a year or more?
It was like a year and some.
A year and some.
I think what he got, they waived him back in November of last year, around this time. So, yeah, like a year.
So, Melo's back. That's insane. He started at power forward for the Portland Trailblazers last night. He scored 10 points, 4 rebounds on 28% shooting. So it wasn't his best game, and a loss to the Pelicans by 9. But remember, Damian Lillard was also still out. He was out with back spasms, and he's going to be out tomorrow night or Thursday night because we record this on Wednesday nights. But Carmelo's back, and I was watching some interviews about him, or interviews that people were having with him, and they were asking him, like, oh, you're going to be coming off the bench, you're going to be starting. He just laughed. He's like, nah, man, I'm coming off. No, man, I'm starting. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to start. He's a starter. And I remember that was kind of like his issue last year when he was trying to sign with teams, that he didn't want to come off the bench. He still wants to be a starter. So, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I'm kind of mixed with that because I feel like...
And mind you, the Portland Trailblazers they said going forward, he's going to be the starting power forward because they don't really have that much talent at the power forward position anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I feel like when Damian Lillard comes back, they're going to have to work that out. But I do feel like being out of the league for a year, I feel like that, in a sense, kind of humbled Melo. Even though he did say that he's going to be a starter, and Portland did say he was going to be a starter, I feel like he doesn't want to make that same mistake again. And I don't know, I just feel like moving forward, he can be a piece that Portland can use. I'm not saying that he's going to be an all-star by any means because he's he's getting older, but he's still Carmelo Anthony. He still can score and give you points, when you need it. So let's see what happens. I think he's a good asset to be honest. And they've been wanting to play together for a very long time apparently.
True. Like, I mean, I think he's a good offensive asset, but I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I kind of think the opposite of what you said earlier about him like being humbled. I feel that he still has a lot of that ego. Like that was a big problem of his that he didn't want to come off the bench for teams and he didn't want to take on he didn't want to be a role player. He wanted to be a starter. He wanted to be an offensive option for the team no matter what they do. And I mean, yeah, he's a walking bucket, but that's pretty much it. He can just shoot the ball. And I know that he had a bad game in his first game with the Trailblazers, but obviously he got signed like 2 days earlier. He was learning the offense, and that's going to come with it. So I'm not going to give him shit for that. But other than being able to shoot, what else can he do?
Yeah, that's true.
He's a decent He's a decent rebounder. He used to be a good playmaker because he just gravitated the defense towards him because he's a walking bucket. And he was able to find the open man, pass out some shots, but I don't know if he still has that in him. I don't think he has that same court vision, that same stamina and energy, or that same kind of basketball IQ that he used to have where, I think he's just going to be playing a lot slower, and defensively, he's non-existent. Every year he's been in the league, his defense has gotten worse and worse, and now after being out for a year and really just being an older player, I don't think he's going to be too much of an asset, but I think he is a good asset for the Portland Trailblazers, at least when it comes to the fourth quarter and scoring.
Yeah, he's not gonna give you like 30 points a game. He's not gonna give you 25 points a game. But I do feel like when it does count, he is, someone that you're gonna want to have on your team. And like I said, when Damian comes back and they have all the pieces that they need, that could be a really important piece in the playoffs. Because I know Damian and CJ are like the main options in terms of scoring. But when you add a Carmelo Anthony, I'm not saying that he's gonna be your main option, but like kind of like how you said, like in the fourth quarter when they need an extra hand, he can give them that.
Yeah, for sure. And right now with the Portland Trailblazers, the number two, the 1 and 2 scoring options are obviously Lillard and McCollum, and right after in third place is Hassan Whiteside, averaging 14.9 points. And I think that Melo can start for them. And definitely, I think he could definitely put out, about 12 to 18 points a game, depending on the game. But I think he wants to score a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just not too convinced on his ego yet. But he is definitely going to be adding more points to that team, more of a scoring capability. I mean, right now they're 12th in the league in scoring. And unfortunately, they're 30th in assists. So what does that mean? They add in a power forward that's mainly offensive, likes to shoot the ball. How is that going to help with assist-wise? Are they going to get more assists and more playmaking skills because they're going to pass it to him and do plays through him where he's going to shoot the ball and then someone else is going to get the assist? Or do you think that he'll be more of a facilitator, more of a veteran presence, and he can maybe gravitate defenses to himself, find the open man? Do you think he can still be able to do that?
I think I'm going to go with the second option. I feel like he's still a really great ISO player because that's what he specializes in. He's probably not going to be as efficient as he used to be, but he's still dangerous, when it comes to that. I would say that he is kind of like a more old school James Harden. He doesn't have like the quickness of a James Harden, but he can still kind of get you in those isolation plays. But I think he'll definitely gravitate the defense and kind of help, pass it out to Lillard or anyone else on the court, which for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be great too, especially in the fourth quarter because, I mean, if you have McCollum, Lillard, and Carmelo all on the court in the fourth quarter, which is most likely going to happen anyway, those are 3 pretty deadly scoring options that can really take the last shot if they need to. Now the question is, who's going to be the shot taker in the fourth quarter? Is it still going to be Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, or do you think Carmelo Anthony is going to be a really big kind of buzzer beater type of person for the Portland Trailblazers? Kind of like, I don't know, I'm just thinking in terms of, do you think teams will have that much confidence in Carmelo Anthony where they'll guard him very heavily in the fourth quarter and in the last 2 minutes of a game? Or do you think that they'll just put all their resources to Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum and kind of just let Carmelo be?
That's like an interesting point because I feel like...
Because, I mean, Lillard and McCollum are... I mean, especially Lillard. Lillard time, he does all these fucking buzzer beaters. He's, like, super cool under pressure. And McCollum's also just an offensive specialist also. And, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like that's what I was kind of saying, that brings an extra flair to that team, because now like I said, he's not going to be the main option, but that he's definitely a good third option. He can still shoot. That's what he specializes in. That's what he's been playing his whole life. And even yesterday, I think it was like the first point, the first point of the Trailblazers, he scored the first three, and he looks like he still has it in him.
Yeah, his shot looks exactly the same. He looks like he's still shooting like super effective, super efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Though his follow through is great. Like he does look like his shot is pretty much untouched.
Yeah, so I feel like that's gonna play big parts in fourth quarters. That's if they they play well to have a close fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But for sure, adding Carmelo to the mix, that gives them more variety on the offense.
For sure, and I mean, right now they're 5-10. They're at the bottom of the Northwest Division. Do you think their record is going to improve with Carmelo? Do you think Carmelo is really going to put them over the edge in terms of winning more games, or do you think he's just kind of like a little band-aid or just a little bit of an addition? Like, what do you think his impact is really going to be like?
I would say for now he's a bit of a band-aid, because I don't think Carmelo can really push him over like that, considering his age and things of that nature. But once Damian comes back, and once that team is healthy, then I feel like that they can actually do make a push.
Yeah.
Not super far of a push, but just enough so that it's gonna be a difference.
Yeah, and I mean, remember, Jusuf Nurkic is out, so Damian Lillard's out with back spasms, and Zach Collins just got injured with a dislocated left shoulder, and I don't know, man. Hopefully Lillard's gonna come back soon. He just has back spasms. That's not a super serious injury. He's not gonna play on Thursday night, but I don't know. I think if Carmelo Anthony still continues playing in the league, I don't know if I haven't read anything about him staying for more than this year. I'm pretty sure he's gonna keep on playing and be an offensive player, but next year when they have Nurkic back, when Collins gets healthy, when Carmelo's more in tune with the offense, with his offensive role with the Trailblazers, I think they're going to be, obviously they're not going to be an amazing team because they're at the bottom of their own division, not even the conference, of their own division. They're 5-10, but I don't know. I think that Carmelo Anthony is going to be a good addition to their offense, but maybe not this year. I think, he is going to be a good addition to their offense this year, but I don't think he's going to make that much of a difference until next year when they have pretty much everybody else.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe they can make moves, because that's also an option. Move some pieces around and make I wouldn't say a contending team, but an improved team for sure.
So I mean, I'm excited that Melo's back regardless. Yeah. I like seeing Melo play. He was drafted in 2003 with obviously our icons Wade and LeBron and Bosh, and he's part of that team. He's part of that draft class.
He's like an iconic player. He's like I said, he's like the old James Harden. He was like the James Harden before James Harden.
Yeah.
So that just seeing him back is just kind of like one of those things where, he's obviously old, but it's just nice to see a player, because there's only one Carmelo. Whether you love him or hate him, at the end of the day, like I think a lot of fans have been waiting for him to come back into the league, and the fact that he's back, it's nice to see.
Yeah, and I mean, I think his personality and Lillard's personality kind of mesh together. They're very like grit and grind, go for it. Who cares what people say? Like, I know how good I am. These are the stats to prove it. So I'm super excited. Hoodie Melo's back.
Yeah.
And he deserves to be on an NBA team.
No, yeah, and he's like I said, he's not what he used to be. He's not like the New York Knicks Carmelo, let alone the Nuggets Carmelo, but he still deserves to be on a roster.
Yeah, and going off of that, something I just remembered, I saw a tweet the other day of Jamal Crawford, and Jamal Crawford said, "How am I still not on a team yet? You know what I mean? Like, I think I can still play. I think, you know what I mean?" And other NBA players were tweeting saying, "Yo, somebody," I think it was Blake Griffin, he said, "Somebody sign this man." Like, I can't believe Jamal Crawford's not even on the team.
I don't know. I feel like all the players that we grew up like loving are just like slowly getting exiled out of the league, and it's like shitty to see, to be honest.
I know, like, well, they're getting old too, which sucks, but I mean, I think for sure like Jamal Crawford's another player that should definitely be on a team.
If Vince Carter could be on the team, and no disrespect to Vince Carter, if Vince Carter could be on a team, Jamal Crawford could be on the team.
True.
Like, even Paul Gasol, he wasn't even playing much, and he's on the team. Joe Kim Noah was on a fucking team, for crying out loud.
True. So
like, I don't know. I just feel like the right team will come for him. I like Jamal Crawford as well. But, yeah, he's just one of those other guys where, like how I was saying about Melo, he is one of those guys where he's not going to be like your first or second option, but when you need a bucket, he'll give you a clutch bucket or two.
for sure. So yeah, to end that note, we're happy as fuck that Melo's back. Congrats to Melo. He's on the Blazers, and hopefully they can win some more games this year with him on there.
For sure.
Next news topic: the Chicago Bulls. They found out that Otto Porter is going to be out for an additional 2 weeks after the MRI revealed a contusion in his left foot that wasn't seen in the first MRI. So unfortunately, he's going to be out for another 2 weeks. That's a big blow to the Chicago Bulls. Another piece of big news: the Los Angeles Clippers. Paul George scored the game winner in his homecoming game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He got the buzzer beater. He got the game-winning shot. So that's amazing for Paul George. You know, kind of just saying that, you know, I don't need you guys. I mean, I don't think he left. He obviously didn't leave in bad blood, but just proving like, yeah, I'm doing good here. You know what I mean?
I think they were playing at home though. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure.
Oh,
yeah,
but well, like his first game against his old team.
Yeah.
And tonight, Celtics versus Clippers. You know, by the time you guys hear this, it's gonna be Thursday morning already. But tonight, which is Wednesday night, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are gonna play together for the first time this year. So that's going to be a great game, and especially against the Celtics, that's going to be a good game.
No, that's going to be a great game, especially considering that Celtics are they're first in the East.
Yeah,
and they're surprising a lot of people, which I didn't think they were going to be that. Like, I thought they were going to be top top 4 for sure, but not this good.
Yeah, not 1.
Yeah,
I mean, we thought that the 76ers were going to be 1, and the Bucks were going to be, you know, 1 and 2 were going to be 76ers and Bucks, and right now 1 and 2 is Boston Celtics and our boys.
I think they're third now.
They're third now? Damn.
Yeah. I think they're third now. I think I checked it today.
Damn. What? Well, whatever, bro. We're top 3. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that we're doing great. Moving on from that, so I sent Slim a video yesterday of the New York Knicks.
Bro, I love this. I love this so much.
doing what was called, I don't know if it was officially called that, but somebody on Twitter called it this, the Tim's Challenge.
It's so fitting.
So they got 2 kids. Yeah, New York dead ass, bro. So they got 2 kids and they put them on the court, and they had them do kind of like an obstacle course. So I don't know if you guys have seen those things in sports where, I mean, they used to do it at my college, at my university, where they would have someone kind of dress up as something and then run up and down the field or whatever and kind of do this, some sort of activity. So they had these kids start at one end of the court, go down, put on the biggest jeans you've ever seen, like some big ass fucking size 40 jeans, tie it up, put on a big ass white tee, put on the size 15 Tims, go to the end of the court, put on a fitted snapback, get the ball, and go all the way down to the court, to the other side of the court, and do a layup. And he had 2 kids, like they must have been like 10 years old doing this. Like, what's New York thinking, bro?
I mean, they gotta sell tickets somehow, bro.
I mean, it's like, I don't even know, dude. Like that looks like that's such a New York thing. Like they know it's a meme, and they're just like, fuck it, let's go with it. The Tims, a snapback, everything.
No, the question is, if Miami did it, how would it be? That'd be funny.
Man, if Miami did it, damn, fuck, dude, that's good as fuck. I don't know, dude. They would make you put on like some flamingo bathing suit, then like a tank top or like a guayabera, then have you put on some sandals, like some open-toed sandals, some chanclas.
Pasan.
Go down to Pasan or Sedanos, bro. But dude, I mean, watching the video was funny as fuck. But now that you say it, dude, I want to see the Miami Heat do something like that. That'd be funny. Maybe holding a croqueta or something.
The croqueta eating challenge.
See how many croquetas you can eat.
Sponsored by La Carreta. Oh god, I love Miami. Dude,
so the Knicks did that weird ass challenge, but you know they want to be New York as fuck, and they were like, "Yo." I'm pretty sure they were in a meeting in the Knicks head office, and they're like, "You want to do this shit?" And they're like, "Yeah, bro, dead ass, dead ass B."
Honestly, whoever like, I would who brought this up,
give him a raise.
No, not even that, but like that was for the culture.
For the culture, of course, dude. Next up, the Los Angeles Lakers. Avery Bradley is out for 1 to 2 weeks with a hairline fracture in his leg, and LeBron James becomes the first player in NBA history to record a triple-double against all 30 NBA teams.
And he has I believe he has 5 triple doubles, which is insane this season.
Crazy.
Which honestly, look, LeBron's LeBron, and you should never bet against LeBron. But I didn't think he was going to. I mean, it's kind of a mixed thing because he did get rest this summer. We've been talking about that all season.
Yeah,
long.
but I mean, still, like,
that's LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, and getting that many triple doubles in how many games have been played this year? Like 15, around about.
And he has 5, which is insane.
Yeah,
crazy. I don't care what team you're playing against. The fact that you're 17 in the league, you're getting triple doubles. I don't know, man. Like it's crazy to me.
And I'm surprised that I'm pretty sure Russell Westbrook is also gonna join him soon because
sure.
he averaged a triple double for literally 2 years.
Yeah, but even then,
like he still never played against his own team, so now he has a chance to go against the Thunder.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure Russell Westbrook is gonna be the next person to do that, but I can't believe LeBron's like the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's surprising. It's surprising.
Yeah, especially with so many good players having such long careers, and I mean to get just getting 30 triple doubles in general. Getting 30 triple doubles in your whole career in general is really hard. But I mean, Oscar Robertson averaged a triple double. Russell Westbrook did it for 2 years. But I mean, it must be that like if once Russell Westbrook gets triple double against OKC, he's gonna join LeBron there.
No, yeah, and I feel like you also have to take into consideration that many players back then never really. I mean, that's not talking shit about LeBron, but like they didn't go to different teams.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't even know what. I think Oscar Robertson always stayed with the same team with the Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure.
But even then, like that's crazy. I don't that's awesome.
Now speaking of generational talents and some of the best players in the league, Danny Green got drug tested the other day because he did a putback dunk. That was insane. Now let me tell you, dude, that dunk, it was a crisp dunk. I didn't even know he could even get up like that. But I just find it so funny how the NBA always wants to drug test people just because they do a good game.
They drug tested the boy, bro, Alex Caruso. Fucked up.
Someone photoshopped him in the offseason, and they were like, fuck it, drug test.
And it's funny that they're drug testing a shit ton of Lakers players. What the fuck's going on? Like,
yeah.
It's like the second player that they drug test.
Literally. It's weird as fuck. And I mean, just because you do a putback dunk doesn't mean that you're doing drugs, bro. Like, you're in basketball. You should be able to do a putback dunk. And I mean, Danny Green's not even a small guy. Like, he should be able to get up there. But I still think it's pretty impressive how he did it. You know, I didn't think he had that in him, but he's obviously showing that he's an explosive player also. He still has that in, like, kind of his arsenal.
Yeah.
Next up, so there's some rumors and some news around the league about the Magic and Spurs. So, last week I was talking to you about how the Magic are interested in trading for DeMar DeRozan, but we weren't sure, like, who they would give up for him and whatnot, or if if DeRozan would even want to go to the Magic. But apparently, I saw a report that said that DeRozan said that he wants to be traded, or not that he wants to be traded, but that if he was traded, he prefers to go to an Eastern Conference team. So the Magic are definitely in that pool. And, I mean, also Aaron Gordon is being eyed by multiple teams. He's on a 4-year, $80 million contract. But I also read another report saying that the Magic are not interested in letting go Aaron Gordon. I mean, I think that would be dumb also, especially since they want to win and he's such a young player. But who knows? Who knows what kind of deal will come out of it? Do you think DeRozan has a chance of going to the Magic?
I mean, it'd be weird. I wouldn't want him to go to the Magic because I feel like he doesn't. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of weird seeing like DeMar going to the Eastern Conference Finals every other year with the Raptors.
Yeah. To
kind of like him being like a first, second round exit. It's just weird to me.
True.
Yeah, and he's still a great player, but me personally, if you're asking me, I wouldn't want him to go to the Magic. And like you said, what would they really give up for him? Yeah. I wouldn't give up Aaron Gordon for him. That's for sure.
Exactly. I mean, they have a lot of good role players, and I mean, they have a pretty deep team in general. Like, they have a lot of pretty good names, but I'm gonna talk about that later. Mm-hmm. But I don't even know who they would give up for him. And I think they'll be doing more harm than good if they kind of give up those key players just to get one good player, even though he is a superstar.
Yeah.
And this year, I mean, DeMar DeRozan, he's averaging 21 points a game on 52% shooting. I mean, any team needs that. Any team needs a player that can put up those types of numbers. And along with, right now in the Magic, Nikola Vucevic is kind of averaging close to that, so maybe adding somebody else, I don't know. But let's move on. Next up, the Dallas Mavericks. the other day, Luka Doncic got a 40-point triple-double. He is the second youngest player to do that, right behind LeBron James, man. They're both under 22 years old when they did a 40-point triple-double. That's insane, bro. They're younger than us. They were younger than us. And we're here sitting in my room doing this podcast, bro.
Fucking guy, bro.
I mean, that's crazy. He's obvious. I mean, we were talking before we even hit record. We're literally watching the Mavericks-Warriors game right now while we're recording this.
And they're spanking that 66-31.
And, I mean, he's an insane player. He's so good.
Wait,
I don't know.
I have a stat. Because I just saw he's 9 for 10 right now. But currently, he has 24 points, 8 for 9, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And it's only the second quarter.
And it's halftime, bro. Basically. There's 2 minutes left in the half. Insane, bro. He's an insane player, and I don't know. Watch out. Maybe the NBA is going to drug test you soon, bro.
No, it's not even that. I've also seen, like on Instagram and on Twitter that Luka gets a lot of disrespect by most people, and I think that it's like, dude, he's super young. He's putting up these numbers. He's showing that he could lead a team at this age. Usually, guys in their second year in the league, they don't do very well, and he's showing no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, he's definitely not getting a sophomore slump this year.
No, yeah, and I think he's he's winning me over, and he's slowly becoming one of my favorite players in the league, and he's only 20 years old. He's 20 years old, which to me is fucking crazy. Like,
insane.
And what guys are at their peak, at like 25, 26, and he hasn't even reached that yet.
Yeah, I mean, even then, like, for example, Giannis Antetokounmpo is entering his prime right now, not entering his prime, but he's been in his prime for about a year or two, and Giannis is only 24 years old, man.
He's 4 years younger than Giannis, putting up these numbers in the Western Conference, which isn't
exactly true. And he's on a team with Kristaps Porzingis, who obviously gets a lot of points too. It takes up a lot of the ball time, but I mean, Luka Doncic is obviously going to be a generational talent. He's playing amazing, and I mean, if he's producing at 20 years old like this, imagine if he can keep this up for his entire not his entire career, but if he could put up kind of consistency like LeBron has, where LeBron came into the league, he was a force, and he's still a league now 16 years later. If Luka Doncic could do that too, who knows what his legacy is going to be like, or where his name is going to be in the history books. Next up, the Golden State Warriors. So D'Angelo Russell is going to be reevaluated. Is going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks with a sprained thumb. So that's another player loss for the Golden State Warriors for the next 2 weeks. And some good news for them. Kevin Looney has been assigned to the G League as he continues to recover from his injury. So, I mean, Kevin Looney is obviously not an amazing player, but he is one of the few players left from the championship team. He knows the culture of the team, and I don't know. I mean, he's not gonna. I am not gonna put any money on him. Like, he's definitely not gonna make any change to the team's success. But it is good for them to be getting him back. Yeah,
and I think he's a fan favorite considering he's still one of the select few of that championship team. But you know, even if he does come back, it's not really gonna do much. But happy for him.
Yeah. Now, one piece of news that I didn't want to tell you about, because I want to tell you here.
Okay.
The NBA, in collaboration with Lucasfilms.
No fucking way! Don't tell me.
Is gonna have Star Wars nights.
What do you mean? Like, so they're gonna have Star Wars nights in the arena?
So they're gonna have Star Wars themed nights for about a month to promote the new movie, The Rise of Skywalker. So I'm gonna read out the games really quick, and let me tell you, man.
Tell me there's one for the Heat, because if there is,
Portland Trailblazers on December 10, the Miami Heat on December 10. So, and it's a home game. I checked, and on SeatGeek, $20 a ticket.
You see, okay, so everyone that's listening to right now, we both like Star Wars a lot. So this is fucking great.
So, and I remember that the baseball, the MLB does the Star Wars nights, and I always thought, I mean, I don't like baseball, so I'm like, why are they collaborating with some shitty sport? Why don't they do it with the NFL or with the NBA? I'm happy as fuck they're doing it with the NBA.
That's awesome. So,
and our Heat are getting a day, so hopefully we can go out to that game. The rest of the games, the Golden State Warriors on December 11th, Chicago Bulls on December 13th, the Kings on December 13th, The Bucks and Mavericks on December 14th. The Nuggets on December 15th. The Rockets on December 16th. The Jazz on December 17th. The Cavs on December 18th. The Spurs on December 19th. The Nets on December 21st. The Hornets on December 31st. The Wizards on January 3rd. The Magic on January 4th. And the Knicks on January 24th. So those are all the Star Wars nights for the league this year. It's all in promotion for the Rise of Skywalker movie. I don't care what's in promotion for. I'm happy as fuck. I mean, I think it's going to be super cool.
That's going to be sick.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do... I mean, from what they used to do with the MLB is that they would have custom jerseys. I don't think they'll do that this year.
Shit, if they do, I'm copying one.
I know for sure. But, I think it's more of like... I think it's a NBA and Star Wars thing. Because I think if it becomes with the uniforms, I think Nike would need to get involved or something. I don't know how that whole business side works. But, I mean, if they do like custom uniforms and shit...
Oh, God.
That's going to be amazing.
No, and plus with the whole neon theme, with the Vice, and with the Star Wars, and how it's, like, really sci-fi, that'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, so that's super exciting. Hopefully we can go out to that game. We gotta talk after this pod to get those tickets. But, yeah, man, that's the news for the past week around the league. Now to our standouts.
I'm going first.
You want to start first?
I want to go first, because, honestly, it's been a wet dream in the Western Conference. So... I don't even know where to begin, because I'm just going to start with this one guy, Paul George.
PG.
He's only 3 games back into the season. 3 games back from his injury, and he's averaging 29.3 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. He's 2-1 with the Clippers right now. They lost 1 game, and this is without Kawhi. So that to me is insane. So I don't know, like I
just imagine when Kawhi comes back. I mean, Kawhi's a great playmaker also. He could definitely feed him the ball. No,
and I don't know, like my thing is Paul George could hold off teams without Kawhi, and he says that he feels like he has brand new shoulders. He feels
I saw that.
So if that's true, I mean
yeah, and he said that he's been playing on bad shoulders for a couple of years now, and the fact that he feels like rejuvenated, and he feels like he said himself, I feel like I have new shoulders now. I mean, he was already like a knockout 3-point player. He's amazing. He's amazing driving to the basket. He's a great playmaker. He's a great perimeter defensive player. Just imagine what he could do now.
I don't know. I'm just really excited to see what he can do with Kawhi. That's like the main thing that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, hopefully they can mesh together. We'll find that out tonight after the pod, but I really hope, because they're playing together for the first time today, but I really hope that they can play well together.
Yeah.
Especially with Paul George's new shoulders, Kawhi Leonard's coming back from load management or whatever you want to call his knee injury, but they're both fresh, they're both ready to get in there, and the Clippers are scary, man.
Yeah, and plus they have a great coach in Doc Rivers. They have a great supporting cast, and I wouldn't be surprised, what happens in the future. But my next standout is pretty obvious. It's an obvious one. The Lakers. Oh. Bro, like this team... Okay, I'm just going to start off by saying this. I think this is the first year in forever that we don't hear anything bad about the locker room and LeBron.
That's true.
And as I'm watching these games, this is the first time LeBron has had fun and how long? Because I feel like when he was with the Cavs... Like, yeah, they would win games and stuff, but he would always look frustrated. There would always be like news and drama and the locker room that he wants to. There's trade talks and of course he's playing GM and all that bullshit. But I think this is the first time where he's just happy with the team that they have. Currently, they're first in the West, obviously. LeBron is just killing it right now. 5 triple-doubles already this season, and they're 11-2. Currently.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy to see because whether you love or hate the Lakers, just seeing them dominate it's nice.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said earlier, like this is the first time, like I feel like he's just having fun. With the Cavs, I feel like it was all business, just trying to get a ring at home, and then even after he did it, it was just kind of like continuing his legacy, let's do it again. And even with the Heat, like for example with the Cavs, it was strictly business, I think, and then with the Heat, I feel like it was also strictly business. It was also business, but he was having a lot of fun because he was with Wade, he was with Bosh, he was in South Beach, he was having fun with it. It was the best years of his career. He got MVP and stuff, and he was dominating the league. And then even before that, with his first stint with the Cavs, it was also like all business also near the end. So I do agree. Like I think he's having a lot of fun this year. He loves having AD by his side. He loves having, such a deep team. And I saw him the other day dap up Kobe Bryant.
which was to me was huge.
Yeah,
That
dude.
that was huge. That was, I don't like I was
Worlds
like damn.
colliding, man. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's insane how two of the top, five players that have ever played. Well, I mean more than two, but I mean, have played for the Lakers, and Kobe was there at the game. He was supporting him. There's no. I would think that with Kobe's mindset and pettiness, people would say like, or he would think that he wants to be better than LeBron. He doesn't want to like really support him that much. But it kind of proves how like, Kobe's ego kind of stops with the Lakers. Like he is like a Laker diehard person, and he just wants them to see him win. And LeBron James is doing that for them. He understands that he's retired now, and that he wants nothing but the best for LeBron and the Lakers, which is great to see.
No, yeah, and just having Kobe courtside does a lot for the team. That just brings so much energy.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Lakers fans thought they were gonna sub in at one point.
Literally, dude.
like that to me, that's kind of like Wade going to our games.
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
Bosh going to our games. Like that it's important,
Exactly. I mean, like, and even the fact that Michael Jordan doesn't go courtside to the Bulls games. You know what I mean?
He's too good for that.
He's too good for that. Yeah, but I mean that would still be insane to see.
Yeah. So my last standout, which looking like from the beginning of the season to my predictions to now, I didn't see this happening. I didn't see this being, the storyline, but the Houston Rockets. Holy shit, dude.
Bro.
They're playing absolutely insane. They're 11-3. 11-3, which...
And I was talking shit that they're going to have a slow start.
And I low-key thought they were going to have a slow start as well. Especially with people saying, oh, well, Russell's not going to play well with Harden, vice versa. They're just not going to be a great team. They just play offense. But to be 11-3 in the West... And what's crazy to me is that Harden is nearly averaging 40, and Russell Westbrook is still getting his triple doubles. That's crazy, dude.
Dude, I mean, they're really proving that they could play very well together. They have a great team. They're proving that the offense is insane. It's crazy how much they're winning. The only thing I have against like the Rockets, not even the Rockets, it's just I just don't like James Harden's like style of play.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, you're winning games. You're still leading the league in scoring. It's it is what it is. It's just the way the game is now.
No, yeah, and one thing I will say is even though they're off to a hot start now and they're really dominating, I feel like if they really want to be a contender in the playoffs, they really have to. I know I did give him praise in one of the articles that we wrote, but their coach, I just think his style holds their potential so back because all he relies on is offense, and I'm sorry, like you can't win a championship with just offense.
Defense wins rings, bro.
You need they just need defense, and I feel like D'Antoni is, as much as I really do like him as a coach, and his coaching style really does mesh well with Westbrook is an offensive juggernaut, so is Harden. I just feel like if they really want, like they already made the move of getting two superstars. Because I mean Chris Paul, like he was playing with Harden, but I didn't feel like that was enough.
He was already on like he was for sure on the downturn of his career already.
Yeah, and this is the first time in a very long time where they have a shot at winning the championship, and I feel like they already took a couple steps to like be a contender. The next step is just to change that system, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And also like one thing I was super worried about was Russell Westbrook taking the ball away from James Harden, not letting him do as much playmaking or scoring, but that's obviously not a problem. I mean, Harden's averaging 39.2 points per game, along with 7.6 assists. He's killing it, man. I mean, and the Rockets in general, the Rockets are first in the league in points scored. They average 120 points a game, which is insane. They're first in the league with 3 points made per game. They're top 10 for blocks. So, hopefully they can put up those numbers, because defensively, like I agree with you, they still need to really like amp up that portion of their game. I feel like they're relying too much on the 3-pointers, even though they're making a majority of them. But that's not going to work out in the end. Just because you take a lot of 3-pointers doesn't mean that you're going to be an amazing team, but it's working out for them. I hope it doesn't bite them in the ass in the offseason. In the postseason, and I hope they could keep up like this insane streak.
No, yeah, and then, like I said, it really did catch me by surprise. They have a really good supporting cast as well.
For sure.
And and the reason why I say I want them to kind of stop with the whole offense, just crazy offense and that's it. They do have great defensive pieces. They have Tyson Chandler. They have Clint Capella. They have guys who could defend. And I just feel like if they just had a balance of offense and defense, they'd be a completely different team. They'd be scary to stop.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I said, if they really want to win a ring, I just feel like the whole D'Antoni situation isn't working out for them.
I mean,
regardless of the hot start, because it's gonna come bite them in the ass come postseason time, like it always does.
I mean, I do know that I don't have too much of a problem with how D'Antoni's doing the offensive coaching. I just think he needs to put more emphasis on defense. I think their offense is good. Obviously, I think they have one of the best offenses in the league, but you can't rely solely on that.
Yeah.
The reason the Warriors were so great was not only were they the best offensive team, but they became an insane defensive team. Draymond Green was defensive player of the year candidate every year. Klay Thompson wasn't a really good defender, and within those 4 or 5 years of the Warriors dynasty, he really shot up his defensive talent in the first year or two, and that plays a really big role in their rings. You know what I mean? You have to have that defense, and I think that if they don't kind of get that soon, it's gonna really bite them in the ass later.
Yeah, for sure. Now, on to the Eastern Conference.
So my standouts, one of them, Nikola Vucevic. He won Eastern Conference Player of the Week this week. In this week, he averaged 21.6 points and 14 rebounds on 55% shooting. They're 3-0 in the last week, and they beat the 76ers by 15 points. Nikola Vucevic, man, I've always been a fan of his. He's tearing it up. Unfortunately, literally during this podcast, I got a notification saying that Aaron Gordon and Vucevic are out for the rest of the game tonight because they both got sprained ankles. I don't know how they both did it. I don't know if it happened at the same time, but hopefully they recover quick. But Nikola Vucevic, man, I've always been a huge fan. He's always been a great center, and I don't think he's really been getting the respect that he deserves, just because he's on the Magic. You know what I mean? He's on he's on a bad team. No,
I feel like it happens to a lot of players that when they're on, for example, I would say the same thing about Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
He's a great, people, if you really watch basketball, he's a great player, but no one's really, the casual fans aren't really going to talk about Andre Drummond because he's on the Pistons.
Yeah, and especially nowadays, every year in the league, centers become less and less, I don't really know the word for it.
I wouldn't say, I'd say they become, not a main focus.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to focus on the superstar. Everyone wants to focus on who's hot in the league.
3-pointers, shooting, scoring, and they don't really think about defense, blocks, rebounds, posting up, low post offense, and I don't know, man. Nikola Vucevic was tearing it up in this past week, so I'm super excited for that. My second standout player, I only have 2 this week, so my second and last standout, Kendrick Nunn, man.
Of course.
Kendrick Nunn, and he deserves it, dude.
It's not biased, I promise.
It's definitely not, bro. I could be born in fucking buttfuck Egypt, dude. I'll still pick Kevin Nunn, dude. I don't care if we're from Miami. Kendrick Nunn, 21.6 points, 5 assists on 50.9 field goal percentage and 42.8 3-point percentage, with 1.6 steals in just the last week. That's what he averaged in the last week. The Heat were 3-0. And he's proving to be a crucial part of the Heat offense, man. He's proving to be an amazing point guard and guard, or just guard in general. He's averaging insane numbers. And let me remind you, dude.
Remind me.
Kendrick Nunn is undrafted, bro. Undrafted. I remember when Isaiah Thomas was killing it in the league at his prime, and hopefully he can get back to that. And they were saying, man, Isaiah Thomas was literally the last pick in the draft. Bro. I think that in terms of storyline, obviously not with positions, but in terms of storyline, Kendrick Nunn is the amazing undrafted player. Tyler Hero is the amazing lottery pick. What does that remind you of, man? Wade and Haslam, dude. Wade was a lottery pick in 2003. They got Haslam in 2003 as an undrafted rookie.
It's meant to happen.
And he's putting up Rookie of the Year numbers. Like, just the Miami Heat have two players, Tyler Hero and Kendrick Nunn, that are both competing for the Rookie of the Year title. Insane, man. I mean, Kendrick Nunn is I love it, dude. I love seeing it, and just the fact that he's undrafted and he's putting up these types of numbers, it really shows how much a lot of other teams slept on him.
No, and not only that, I just feel like, and it's not being biased, I feel like a lot of people just shit on the Heat because we're like one of those teams where we don't really...
They hate us, man.
We don't really have like superstar power, but I feel like our grit and grind is like what wins us games. And just even when Wade left to like Chicago that one year, and all of those things, when we had like the Tyler Johnsons and everyone like that,
True.
we had a pretty solid team. We had and just it shows that the Heat culture is a thing. And Kendrick Nunn, he was playing the G League, and now he's putting up these crazy numbers. Tyler Hero's putting up these crazy numbers, and it's going to sound bold, but I think if you put these guys in any other system, they wouldn't be putting up those numbers.
Exactly, man. And I think the team we have now is a team we thought we had when we had, Tyler Johnson, Josh Richardson, and all those young players when Wade left. But, the team that we have right now is what we think that team was, and we were thinking, this team's great, we just got to give them a couple years. No, man. Look how many players on the Heat are new right now. Jimmy Butler, Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Chris Silva, Duncan Robinson, and they're playing amazing together. Even just another notification I got right now. Duncan Robinson has 8 threes in the first half. He has a career high 24 points against the Cavs.
That is crazy. You see, like, shit happens every day.
Insane, man. So, I mean, I know we got off on a rant about the Heat, but Kendrick Nunn, dude, Nikola Vucevic, they're my standouts for this week.
Agreed.
So let's move on to the shocking team. You want me to go first, or you go first?
You go first. I went first last time.
So we were discussing for this episode, we wanted to each pick one team for our conference that we think is gonna shock the league later on in the season. And mine is a team that we've been talking about a lot, the Orlando Magic, man. I think the Orlando Magic have a great potential of shocking the league later on, and here's my case for it. So the Magic are 6-7 right now. The 7 games that they lost, 4 of them were against the Bucks, Nuggets, Mavericks, and Raptors. Really good teams. They're looking to trade for DeRozan to add a superstar to their backcourt. If they're able to do that, I think they're going to be able to really be able to kind of put themselves over the edge for that. Now, Markelle Fultz. Now, here's my case of how deep the team is. Here's my case about how deep the team is. Isaac is second in the league in blocks. He's leading the league. He's the second leader in league blocks, right behind Anthony Davis. Markelle Fultz, I'm sorry. I'm taking everything I said back. He's having a great year. He's proving to be such a reliable part of their offense. He leads the team with 1.3 steals, along with Isaac. He's averaging the same. And is averaging 12.1 points and 49.5% field goal percentage. His shot is obviously doing good. He's becoming a more consistent shooter and a more reliable part of the offense. And with Isaac and Markelle Fultz being young players and being able to produce like that, there's nothing but a lot of potential for them, especially in this year. Nikola Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, I don't even have to say it. They play great together. They're both amazing talents for Orlando. Nikola Vucevic is leading the team in points with around 21 points, and Aaron Gordon is second on the team with around 14 or 15 points. They're obviously amazing additions to the team and amazing pieces to the team. And their team in general has a lot of talented names. They have Evan Fournier, Al-Farouq Aminu, Michael Carter-Williams, Terrence Ross. They have a really solid young core. And I think that with just all those pieces, now I do think that they're for sure going to have to give up one of those 4 players to be able to get DeMar DeRozan. Mm-hmm. But I still think that if the contract is right, if the negotiation is right, if the trades are right, I still think that if they get DeMar, then this is all based off if they get DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
If they get DeMar DeRozan, I still think that they're going to be able to shock the league. I think they'll be able to make it into the playoffs with DeMar DeRozan. I'm making a bold prediction, but if they get DeMar DeRozan, they're able to keep some key players in there, do the right trade, they're really going to shock the league and show everybody, you know what, now we're a team that you can't really mess with. They're not going to be, obviously, a juggernaut, or they're not going to be an extreme threat in the league, but I think that's really going to kind of turn the tide of, okay, the rebuilding is kind of done, we just need to get a couple more pieces, and then we'll be a playoff team, especially in the Eastern Conference.
Until they face the Heat, of course. But
Of course, yeah. The Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson, everyone's going to beat their ass. But, I mean, that's my case for the Orlando Magic, man. I think they're going to be a really good team this year. Or I think they have a really good potential of shocking people this year.
So, mine isn't really a shocker, because we've talked about this team before. And there's just this team surprises me every time I look into them. And that's the Pelicans. Like...
But when's Zion coming back?
No, that's the thing. We haven't even talked about Zion yet. We haven't talked about him at all. And bro, first and foremost, they have won against some pretty formidable teams. For example, they've won against the Clippers. They won against Portland. They won against the Warriors, which, I mean, it's the fucking Warriors, but whatever. My whole thing right now is they don't have Zion Williamson, but the team in itself, they're keeping up. Even when they do lose, like we talked about that one time, like they're losing, like they're not getting blown out. They're competing with teams. And Brandon Ingram, bro, he is balling the fuck out.
He's like, I liked him on the Lakers. I feel like, well, actually, no, I'm talking shit. When he was first on the Lakers, when he first got drafted and stuff like that, he wasn't doing too good. But, I mean, he's really lighting it up. I mean, he's the number one guy for the Pelicans right now.
Yeah, and right now, they have Derek Favors out, Lonzo Ball out, Josh Hart out, Zion's out. Imagine when all these guys come back, and Brandon Ingram, he could still be on the hot streak. I don't know, I just feel like going forward from there, they're really going to be a scary team. They're not going to be I wouldn't say they would be a playoff team, but they're gonna show everyone damn, this is this is a young core that can really compete with the best of them, and they're doing that right now without their potential star in Zion Williamson, and no one's really talked about him. And when he does come back, just imagine just the hype surrounding that team.
Exactly, man. I mean, and even without Zion and with all those injuries, they're still they're fourth in the league in points scored. They're in the top 5 for that. They're in the top 5 for 3-point percentage. They're second in 3 points made. They're 7th in assists. They're playing amazing. And I mean, even in our first episode where we were talking about our season preview for the NBA teams, we knew that the Pelicans were going to be a good team, a good rookie team, and a very good young team. But with Zion out and with all those injuries, they're still proving that they're playing amazing. I think they're really gonna exceed, like you said, everyone's expectations about this team, because if they're able to be this good consistently without their star draft pick and without a couple of key players, just imagine when they get everybody back.
Yeah,
and I mean, looking at their roster and and the injuries they have, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Derek Favors, and Zion Williamson, none of them have extreme injuries that they can't come back this year.
Yeah.
Derek Favors only has back spasms. Lonzo Ball has a strained right abductor, so he pretty much has a strained shoulder. Josh Hart has a left knee and ankle sprain. They're all going to come back soon. Now, Zion Williamson, he's probably going to come back mid-December or mid-January, the latest. The latest. That's still a couple of months of basketball to play. Mm-hmm. And I think that when everybody does come back, the Pelicans are really going to get pushed up. They're going to show how great they are. They're going to play at a faster pace, way better, more offensive, more consistency on the offense, and I agree, dude. They're gonna really shock the team this year.
No, and the thing that's the scariest thing to me is that they have absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah,
because they don't have the
which may be the reason they're playing so good. They have nothing to lose. They know they're a young team. They have something to prove, and they're just having fun out there.
No, and that's the thing. They're gonna have fun, especially when Zion comes back. I can imagine Lonzo lobbing it up to Zion. That's gonna be sick. They already have that connection, that bond already. So when they all play on the court and just they don't have expectations and they're gonna have fun. And I feel like that, just having that mindset moving forward is gonna be really scary, because I feel like that they're gonna find themselves through that. They're just gonna be, okay, this is what we can do. So let's, and then when they act, and just imagine when they actually start trying.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
when they really start trying.
It's gonna be insane, and then I think it's gonna be good too, because if they do finish in the bottom, if let's say they have a lottery pick this year or next year in the draft, just imagine getting another lottery pick and adding them to the team. You know, maybe they'll get a center. You know, because they have right now it's Derek Favors and Jahlil Okafor. Derek Favors is injured. Jahlil Okafor is proven to be like, you know, not a bust, but kind of a bust.
Yeah.
But maybe they could get a good center, a good big man to help out Zion Williamson, have athletic people like Ingram and Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart. They're going to be insane next year.
No, and I can't wait.
I can't wait, dude. And that's it, man.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? I don't know. The last 2 weeks we've been fucking up, dude. But this week for sure. Thank you for listening. Episode 7. If you enjoyed the podcast, you enjoy us hearing, you know, talking shit about basketball, like and subscribe. Share us on social media. We really appreciate it. Please leave us stars on you know, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We're having some trouble with SoundCloud, so we're not on there. But yeah, man. You know, thank you so much for listening. Episode 7 is under wraps. The Open Shot Podcast.
Later.
Oh, and theopenshot.com. Check us out.